Here we go. It's time to go live. It's time to go live. Everybody share. Go and tell your friends. Do. Going live. What am I raising money for? Wounded Warrior Project. All right, one down. Let's comment with our link. We can donate. Up. Hi, cousin Alicia. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. We're building Dormammu tonight. Very excited. Very excited. Gonna give it just a little bit of time. Here we go. Yes, y'all. Get bored. Right there in the chat. Hopefully that'll post every few minutes. All right, there we go. 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 Everybody, here we go. Multi-stream. It is time to rewind. Go. The donate link do be in the chat for Facebook. It's in the chat for Twitch, and hopefully YouTube picks up something. All right, we got 1 minute before we get this stream started, so we're going to start the new Big Bad Nerd Dad theme song. Hey Jesse, thanks for giving me a like. Big Bad Nerd Dad. He's the best. Big Bad Nerd Dad. He's the best. Big Bad Nerd Dad. He's the best. Yeah. James, thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, families, let's get this thing started. Ta-da! Ha! All right. Okay, thank you very much for tuning into the Big Bad Nerd Dad. I am very excited to bring you content tonight because I'm assembling some gifts. I had some friends that donated some models and terrain and other things to the stream, so I'm very excited to put these together tonight. And these aren't your average models. Do I have a box? Here we go. So normally, this is going to make everything fall over here, but I don't care right now. Normally, right, I've got, this is your normal size box. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. I don't know why I kept the box. It's a little dusty. That's okay. But this is your average size box. And this is what was donated to the stream tonight. This is a model with some terrain. Like, this is crazy. This is going to be awesome. I've never built anything this big before for Marvel Crisis Protocol. So this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a neat little challenge. We are assembling Dormammu. This is the bad guy from Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange movie. If you've ever seen that, Dormammu. And I'm going to read you the back of his box because it's pretty neat. This world is mine. Dormammu is the ruler of the dark dimension, an intersection of dimensions and realities that defies the laws of nature. He is one of the Faltine, an enigmatic race of beings made of pure, mystical energy. Dormammu possesses patience that can be measured in eons. He has intelligence beyond reckoning and command of mystic arts to match. Dormammu is an arrogant tyrant, seeing himself as nothing less than a god. He is the most imposing foe of Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange and represents a threat to the entire realms as he absorbs other universes into his own, expanding his worship among any who seek to invoke his vast powers. This expansion pack provides players everything they need to add Dormammu to their games of Marvel Crisis Protocol. This expansion pack includes rules for an all-new Ultimate Encounter. In Ultimate Encounter, Dark Intruder, 2 players team up in one last desperate gamble to defeat Dormammu and halt his dimensional incursion before he can draw the universe under the control of his dark dimension. Hey James, Dormammu, I have come to bargain. Come to bargain. Come to bargain. Come to bargain. So this is really neat and something different for the stream and for me myself, gameplay wise. I have a scenario for Juggernaut. It's really neat, but this one will use this giant model that we're going to assemble tonight on stream to play out. This model can also be used inside Marvel Crisis Protocol, and the Dormammu here is pretty neat. He comes with a lot of different rules for individual play, and he also comes with a lot of extra rules for the ultimate encounter. So we're gonna crack this baby open, and again, this is the size difference between the normal character box and this giant Dormammu box. This is the largest box that I've ever opened for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and it's really, really neat. All right, so we are going to change vantage points. Bloop. All right, so you can see it barely fits. Barely fits in the shot. Move some things around real quick. Bloop. Here, okay. I've got my tools set to the side, and you can barely see them, but bloop, they're gonna be over here. We're gonna break open this Dormammu box. Okay, so he's got some terrain, bowels. They look almost identical. I'm gonna say they're identical. Oh, yeah. So this is the terrain that goes with him. We'll see how far we get along. because I actually want to build him on the stream. Jesse, thank you again for liking the stream. Liking, sharing, and commenting helps boost my algorithm. And this box just comes with tons and tons of stuff. Alright, so this is the bottom terrain, the Dormammu thingy. Kind of neat. What is that? This is actually really neat because it looks like it came with a bunch of different bases for him. Alright, and an assembly guide. So we've got an assembly guide for the Dimensional Rift, his portal, and then Dormammu himself. So I'm going to start with the portal. That way we can give it a little bit of time before more friends join us. Oh, this is the love of my life. Rules and a bunch of different giant tokens. It's got to be for like dimensional rifts and things like that. Bloop. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, Chris. Sabrina, thank you. Thank you for liking the stream, Sabrina. Chris, welcome to the stream. Chris, or Aggie, Aggie's Oddities and Wonderments, donated this to the stream. I'm very excited to assemble this on stream tonight. And I'm going to actually play this scenario in the next few weeks, gearing up for our 24-hour stream. Gearing up for our 24-hour stream and for our Marvel Crisis Protocol Space City League. I'm a part of a huge Space City League. Let me get that box one more time. What's he on? Yeah, we're not putting him on the raggedy base. They gave us a bunch of bases. Why did they give us so many bases? Let's see. Alright, so again, one of the best things about Marvel Crisis Protocol is their beautifully done terrain that's easy to assemble. And man, when I tell you, they've given us a lot to work with. They have given us a lot to work with. So this is the Dormammu spruce to build Dormammu himself. And then the rest of this is all of his really cool terrain. So they gave us 2 of these. They gave us this giant piece, which looks like something that one of the larger characters would be on. This is Juggernaut. I'll be playing him in the league. And it looks like they gave, like, this Juggernaut has a custom base. I was just talking to James. He's on the Facebook stream, or he's watching through Facebook right now. His Doc Ock has a recessed lip back like this, whereas basic will have a very small one. So, regular one right there. Same thing. Oh no, these are a little bit recessed as well. And this is for Dormammu. This is obviously for Dormammu. They're identical. Chris says, let's get it. Aha. Alright, I'm ready to get it. Here we go. Sorry if I put a lot of noise in the background. Alright, so first let's build this giant thingamajig. So he has a really neat decorative portal base, right? Dormammu's model will sit in here on a base. I'm gonna click this one out quick so you can see. Boop. Clip this base out, because this base Once Dormammu's on it, it'll sit right in there. Come right out. So he has like this really neat decorative base to go with it. I'm gonna assemble this real quick. Pop it out. I'm gonna clip it with my handy dandy model clippers. Nothing fancy. You can get it from any hobby store. They have, I believe I got these from Hobby Lobby many moons ago. Alright, so 6 and 7, 8 and 9, 11 and 10, 6, 7. So we're going to break these two off. 1, 2. Break these two pieces off. Alright, we'll be using our Loctite super glue. I like the Ultra Gel control. I say it every single time I do this. It gives you a lot more time to work with the super glue. It's not flowing all over the place. It'll stay in one good spot. Ryan, thanks for watching, brother. I see you. I see you. And thank you for giving me a like, Ryan. I greatly appreciate that. Up a loop. All right. That rock is put together. I'm going to let that gel for a little bit. So 6 and 7. This will be 8 and 9. Again, huge shout out to Atomic Mass Games for making these models so easy to assemble. They come with good directions. They're larger models. So in comparison to Warhammer 40k or Infinity, War Machine, any of those other war games, these models are actually scaled slightly larger, so they're not as finicky to put together. They're easy to move around. David, thanks for liking the stream. Wow, my friends are here tonight. Yay! Thank you for liking my stream. Get that nice and tight. Put that down. Thank y'all so much for watching, for liking, for sharing, for commenting. All of that helps my algorithm. Boop. All right, so now we're putting together 11 and 12? 10, 11. 10, 11. I can't count, but the instructions are easy, so it helps. So, we're building Dormammu because there's just so much going on right now, and I needed something to focus on. And this is something really cool that Aggie was able to pick up for me. And I've never assembled a model this large before for Marvel Crisis Protocol. A little bit of glue outside portion. But with the league now active, right? The league started yesterday. We should be getting our first opponents in the next day or two. We have 2 weeks to meet up with our opponent, play them in a match, and then start painting miniatures, well, assembling, painting, play with their friends. The league's really neat because it's not just like a tournament. We're not just playing opponents for points. We also get points for assembling and painting models. We get points for playing opponents outside of our normal league round. So, for instance, let's say I get paired up against another guy. We use Danny Dean. Me and Danny Dean have to play a game within 2 weeks. But within that 2 week round, I could play another person, 2 other people technically, and I'll get a point per game that I play to start helping me rack up destroyer points. So technically, by the end of the league, there's 5 rounds. If you win all 5 of your rounds, that's 10 points. If you win all of your games against your optional opponents, that's another 10 points, so that's 20 points. Here. I'm just dry fitting these real quick. All right. The truth is, I might never play this Dormammu in an actual game. I might. We'll see. Maybe I'll do something for fun. But, he comes with this optional ultimate encounter, which I'll definitely play. Matt! Hey, thanks, Matt, for giving me a like. We're building Dormammu tonight. But that's one of the things I love the most about Marvel Crisis Protocol, is that it's not just tournament play. There are a bunch of different scenarios, organized play kits made specifically for playing with your friends cooperatively, trying to accomplish a goal. So it's not just playing against opponent. Sometimes you're playing against the game. My personal favorite is one that I was able to pick up was the Unstoppable Colossus. It comes from the storyline where Colossus has been puts on the Juggernaut's helmet and is taken over, and it makes him super beefy and super angry, and it's our job in game to stop him, to put a stop to Juggernaut Colossus. And so you and your teammate, right? Because it's not competitive. You're co-op in this one. You and your teammate are trying to beat up the Juggernaut and keep him away from Cerebro pylons that are trying to dwindle down and stop Colossus momentum. And it's a really, really neat and different way to play the game that stands out from just normal PvP, player versus player. And I thought that was, number one, a great way to play the game differently. And number two, a great way to get players who aren't interested in tournament style playing, who aren't interested in simply playing against opponents in a large scale aggressive format, which that was me. I did not want to play in tournaments. I did not want to play in anything that would be considered competitive, simply because I didn't want it. But after playing this game for a little over a year and playing with my friends and really getting into it, it's a game where I feel comfortable playing against opponents that I don't know, playing against people I don't know with different teams, and the game is just fun. The game is a game where I can sit down, have a snack. It's almost like playing a board game. Even in a competitive player versus player style, I don't have anxiety playing against an opponent, and it's fun. The game is fun. I've lost several games of this Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm not afraid to say that. And I had fun doing it. I had fun losing to my friends, losing to strangers, and I wasn't anxious or worried about it, because I know that that's an issue that some people have when you get into games like this, and that's not something that this game evokes. It's not something that this game pulls from you. You just have fun, win or lose. So this in particular, this Dormammu set. Right? We're just gonna set. All right. So this is his big old terrain piece. Gotta be careful with that. There we go. This is a big old terrain piece. I'm still trying to figure out how to get my donation link put into my thingamabob, but here is donation link on Facebook. Here is the donation link on Twitch. Boop. If you're watching. And if you can't get to those donation links through what I'm currently posting in these chats, then you can just go to my Facebook page, and the links are in a couple of the posts that I've posted, which I'm very excited about. I didn't know that there was going to be leaderboards and stuff for the Wounded Warrior Project, trying to get people to interact and raise donations, but I am a competitive person. I am a competitive person when it comes to doing things like this, and that's why I wanted to specifically raise money through gaming. Is raising donations through gaming is a whole different animal, in the fact that not a lot of gamers know that we can do this. I mean, we have the video gamers, right? The ones that do their 24-hour stream of them playing Call of Duty or Cult of the Lamb or other random video games, but tabletop gamers can do the exact same thing. For years, I ran food drives with tabletop gamers. The past few years, I've been doing things for Texas Children's Hospital. This year, we're working with the Wounded Warrior Project. After the Wounded Warrior Project, I want to work with the Houston Intervention Hotline. So it's suicide prevention. Like, there's just so many organizations that need our help that we can help with. Like, why not? All right, so that was Dormammu. That was his portal, his giant portal. Next, we're going to work on his body and base. This is the base that hiccups. This is the base that I want to use. It's really neat looking. It's got this like weird pattern, whereas almost all of the normal bases are like a street, destroyed street, something to that extent. Because everything takes place in the city. But these are really neat. So again, kudos to the Atomic Mass Games for making this so incredibly easy to assemble. 19 and 20 go together. Right, thank you, James. James posted on Facebook an interesting sigil. Hey Tim, what's going on? Whoops. Thanks for checking us out. We're just here streaming some Marvel Crisis Protocol assembly, talking about the Marvel Crisis Protocol League that's happening in Houston, Texas right now. Very excited. Our first round started yesterday, so we'll be getting our opponents here pretty soon. Gonna put glue on all the contact points. I, of course, am playing Brotherhood of Mutants. What? My buddy Aggie bought me this Dormammu, and it's a humongous model, so I have to build it. I've never built anything like this before. I mean, my Juggernaut is kind of big, and I think that he's, in comparison, about the same size. Alex, thank you so much for reacting to my stream. Heart reacts, I love you too. Alright, so that's 19 and 20. I need 24. 24 is over here. believe. S24. Bug Bad Nerd Dad. That's different, Alex, but I'll take it. Alex is over on Facebook. Yes, he's watching me via Facebook. Tim, so Action Fall. Okay. To each their own, Tim, on that unpainted minis. The truth of the matter is that the game is meant to be played for fun. If you're playing with if you're going to go to a tournament, you're probably going to catch them flack, right? Because those guys are professionals. They're there to play a game with beautifully painted minis on a beautiful table. Man, we sat down at the kitchen counter, at the kitchen table with books and cans and tape, just random things to throw onto the board. Oh, there we go. So as far as painted models go, as long as you have fun while you're playing, I don't care what your models look like. Um, and I know that for some people, it's not about having painted models. They just want to play the game. It's just like a board game, right? When you buy Descent, when you buy Kingdom Death Monster, Zombicide, their models don't come painted. They don't come pre-painted. They don't come primed. They don't come nothing. So you're just going to play that board game as is, right? If that's what you're taking to this Marvel Crisis Protocol or any other game that you are playing because you want to play the game, play it. And don't worry about what anybody else has to say about it, because you're there to have fun. We are here to have fun. 23 and 22. So, oh, it's his head. It's a big old meaty head. That's what that is. This is Dormammu's head. And another thing too is that not everybody likes to paint. Not everybody likes to assemble. A coworker of mine, Nabi, has said several times that he loves the look of the model. He loves the assembly, but he can't stand painting. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Painting, assembly and painting are my favorite part of the process. Like, I really enjoy playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, but I've had a lot of fun painting them up, especially with my spider foes that I've been playing. I was very intimidated when I first started because, these are iconic characters. Yes, Marvel Crisis Protocol is the what, fun is the why. Um, I was a little intimidated when I started out because these are iconic characters. And I was painting Venom. I was painting Doc Ock. I was painting Kraven the Hunter, Kingpin. Having to paint white. That was the first time I've ever had to paint white anything for like a suit for cloth. So it was intimidating for me to do because I've seen these characters my entire life. Right, I've got comic books older than me for Spider-Man and Venom. Maybe not Venom, but for these characters, and I was like, man, it's a little intimidating, but I like the game. I love the hobby aspect. Let's do this. Let's rock this joint. All right, 14 and 16. 14 and 16. Again, good job on Atomic Mass Games for making these models extremely easy to assemble. Step right out. Very little flash. A little bit of glue. get this all out. There we go. There we go. All right. And again, another reason I love this Loctite Ultra Gel Control Glue is that it gives me a little bit of time and flexibility to put these models together. Oh, Alex, good question. Alex just asked me what has been my favorite model to put together. And in all honesty, my favorite character out of all comic bookdom is Eddie Brock's Venom. He's just the anti-hero that he is, the journey that the character's gone through. So assembling Venom was a huge part of why I wanted to get into the game. My buddy Joe, he's been on the stream many times, bought me the core set, the base set with all the rules and all the dice and stuff, and I really didn't want to get into another miniatures game, but they had Venom, and so I was like, oh, I want to play Venom. Everybody's playing Web Warriors, Spider-Man and friends, and Venom will work with them with the good guys, but I wanted to play Venom differently, so picked up Venom. Alright, I'm gonna take this one. Sounds like there's a cat fight outside. And we're gonna put 27. Just 27. But my favorite miniature to assemble was Venom, because he is my favorite character. But the coolest miniature that I put together definitely has to be Juggernaut. I assembled him on stream a few months ago. And you can go back to my YouTube channel and see all my past streams, and assembling him was a lot of fun. Tim said, the humidity here in New Mexico is so low it takes forever for super glue to set up. Almost need a humidifier in the background. Venom, Marvel Venom, Juggernaut. Ah, thank you, Alex, for the tags, the hashtags. But, I mean, he's just such a nifty model. So dynamic. His base is different than the normal large base bottom. Like, it's cracked and torn asunder. He had two different poses, or two different options for his hand. He could have just had a big meaty fist, or he has this fist that's holding the light post. And I was like, well, I want him to be extra dynamic, so I took the light post. That looks neat. But Juggernaut is by far the coolest and most dynamic of the models that I have. It's not a mace. If you look at it, it's actually a street light that he's broken off and he's using as a mace. Chris asked over on Facebook, why does he have a mace? He doesn't have a mace. Yeah, it's a light post, and it's super neat looking. Like, it gives him a whole lot more character. It makes the model much more dynamic. Like, he's already in this charging pose that is very full tilt Juggernaut's gonna smash pose, and so just to have that extra bit of a flair of that traffic light. Bam! Love it. Alright, so this was clip number 27. This is going to go on his arm up here. A little bit of super glue. Yeah, Tim, we've been having a lot of humidity issues. We've actually been having the reverse trouble here in Houston, Texas with our humidity. It was so hard to prime and paint up here because of the humidity. Nope. Alex asked on Facebook, do I plan on painting these? Absolutely. I absolutely plan on painting these because I like my models painted and I enjoy that aspect of the hobby. Sitting down, figuring out color schemes, color theory, wondering how the model is going to come to life. With these Marvel Crisis Protocol, they do have kind of a set, these are the characters from this generation of comics, so they have they do have these looks to them. You can paint them like this, which at first I found intimidating, but now I find a little challenging and fun because I want to paint them how they look in the comics, right, or how they looked in the cartoons. There we go. His arms are done. Except for the fire. He has fire in one of the hands. I don't think that's these. Or these. It is one of these. What number fire is that? Number 30. 30. Right here. Alright, so Chris says he wants me to paint Dormammu in his classic colors. Which I don't mind doing. Especially since Chris is the one that picked this up for me. I do not feel like I'm going to use this guy in actual gameplay. Like I'm not going to field him on a team. He's got a lot of weird rules, and I'm sure somebody can work with him and make him work. But he's just not my cup of tea to play with. But the cool thing about this Dormammu is that he comes with what's known as an ultimate encounter. So it is an organized play event, which means that even though I won't play with him in a tournament setting or a player versus player, he comes with a set of rules for playing against him. He is his own scenario. So that'll actually be fun. Oh, you want me to paint the Juggernaut in his original paint scheme? Yeah, I was gonna do. Well, I had talked to my buddy Adam about maybe doing him in the Deadpool 2 convict scheme, where he's got this like an iron head and then a yellow jumpsuit. But yeah, I'm for the rest of my Brotherhood, I plan on doing them just like the '90s cartoon X-Men. Hey Brian. Oh, hey Brian and Isaac. Did I miss anybody else? Brian and Isaac, thanks for giving me a like. I greatly appreciate it. Right. Yeah. Yeah, Juggernaut is a menacing monster. So we've got almost everything done. I'm going to clip Dormammu's feet and legs out. So I'm actually really excited to get Dormammu built, assembled, put aside. LOL. Chris, thank you so much for commenting and liking my stream. I greatly appreciate it. This all helps with the algorithm. Clean the bottom of his foot off a bit. Alright, so Dormammu. Alright, fill that with super glue. Put a little bit of super glue right here. Oh, Alex, a BBEG is a big bad evil guy. Chris is talking about using these characters for more than just Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is something that is a great idea, right? Multi-purpose your miniatures. So like Dormammu, when you look at him, let me show you real quick. Dormammu, when you look at what I'll be working with, main screen. When he's completed, he'll look like this, right? Big dude, fiery throne, giant portal behind him. Once I build him, you'll actually see how big he is compared to the other characters. And Dormammu himself is actually, um, I say, large and in charge. So when Chris says big bad evil guy, that's exactly what he means. Big bad evil guy. So it actually says to use the model itself because the way that Marvel Crisis Protocol is made, and let me go back to the other view real quick. Double webcam. James over on Facebook asked, for the Dormammu scenario, would you use the model for play, or is it best to use a token so as to not clutter up the play area? All right, so they want you to use the model. They want you to use this giant Dormammu um, on the play area. Oop. Put his head on. Uh, Nobody is as big as Dormammu currently. Uh, in individual wise, they have like a cosmic Ghost Rider that's on a giant uh, cosmic motorcycle. Michalith is another character that's riding a giant winged tiger thingy. I'm not familiar with Michalith. But they do have other models that are large, but Dormammu is the largest single model currently, I believe. I'll show you just how big he is in comparison to my other models in just a second after I get these arms on. So this is Dormammu, and then let's use Mystique. Mystique to Dormammu. And then Juggernaut. Juggernaut is my largest character currently to Dormammu. Even next to the Juggernaut, Dormammu is just way bigger. And then my tallest character is Magneto. And still, he just dwarfs the rest of the characters. He's an amazingly big model made specifically for looking intimidating and huge on the field. So when I play the game, yeah, holy cow. Uh, when I play the game, um, Dormammu is supposed to be big, huge, intimidating, and scary to look at and see. There we go. Jason, thank you for checking out the live stream. I greatly appreciate it. So we have assembled Dormammu. I'm going to place him on his base. I gotta figure out where the best place is on the base. Looks like Right there. That's perfect. So now I'm just going to dump glue on his feet. Red glue all over his feet. They gave me some extra fire. Like, just extra bits of fire to put on bases and put all over the place. And I was like, that's really neat. Like, they gave you optional, it even says it on the assembly guide. Optional fire. So they give you these optional pieces for the model. I can save it. I can use it on a different model. I think it would be kind of cool to put these fireballs on the Ghost Rider model. Even more than what you add to the model. Yes. So like Dormammu has fireballs in his hands. We go. Never enough fire. Dormammu has fireballs in his hands, and the kit came with extra fire. They just put on his base, put on the terrain, put in different places, which I think is really neat. Like, they could have just had you put hot glue on his base and do the terrain build yourself. Instead, they help out players with this neat. Oh, boop. Probably should have put that on first. Bam. All right. Got his nice little flowy cape. Nice little flowy cape. Super cool. Yes, be careful with the X-Acto. I've said it before. Do as I say, not as I do. Always cut away from you. Yada, yada, yada. Dormammu, again, is a humongous model. That's him compared to Mystique. This is Mystique on his base. Like, even next to the Juggernaut and Blob. He just makes the other characters look small, which is exactly what he's supposed to do, right? He's this huge, cosmic. What do they say? He is one of the Faltine, an enigmatic race of beings made of pure mystical energy, right? So he's just supposed to be this huge, almost godlike thing. Oh, Jason. Yay! Jason, good to see you too, even more than what you. Yes, and that's something really cool too, is that Marvel Crisis Protocol doesn't just have the X-Men. You know, we all know Wolverine, we all know Deadpool, we all know Cyclops and Storm. They don't just have the Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow. They have the Inhumans with Black Bolt and Medusa, characters that I wasn't familiar with. Heroes for Hire, Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Moon Knight. Moon Knight rose to popularity just recently over the past few years because of his TV show. And while a lot of the people that read the comics and know who Moon Knight is, for other people that were just playing the game and knowing the major characters, it's cool to see these other characters that we're not familiar with. Oh, Alex, thank you so much for posting those links for me. I greatly appreciate it. That reminds me that I need to post it over on the Twitch too. The board. Do that real quick. I reset up. Boop. Greatly appreciate that, Alex. All right. All right. So my friend James over on Facebook just said that he assembled Moon Knight, and he was a challenge to paint, and that's because he's all white. All white. Don't forget to pin it. Yes, pin. Pin this comment. Thank you, Alex. Did I do that on Twitch? Nope. Thank you, Alex. I pinned it. Yes. Raising money for the wounded warriors. Moon Knight was a pain because he's all white, and he's all white. He's not like Kingpin, who has fleshy bits on his hands and face, and his tie and vest. Right, they're different colors. Moon Knight is all white. He could be very difficult to paint, an all white character. But Dormammu was finished. I did quite a bit of talking with this guy, and I can't wait to paint him. Again, I love this Loctite Ultra Gel Super Glue because it isn't liquidy. It doesn't just flow wherever it wants. Like if I would have put regular super glue on his base, it would have flowed into all of the crevices and other places of the base before it stuck to his feet. Nope, just stuck a bunch on his feet, and then I was able to position him where I wanted, and now he's stuck. And that super glue is super glued. Bloop. And because I finished his huge terrain base earlier, now we can grab Dormammu, put him in his giant base. You can see him. Go to the alternate. Boop. There we go. So you can see the size next to me. Pretty neat, huh? All right, so what did they call this? The portal is assembled. Dormammu is assembled. The last thing we have to do is assemble his dimensional rifts. Chris, thank you. Thank you, James. Yes, it is pretty amazing. It is freaking huge. And I do plan on playing the scenario, probably not during the 24-hour stream, because I want to get more than 2 players playing games. That's what the 24-hour stream is for me to bring a bunch of my friends together. For the Marvel Crisis Protocol portion of the 24-hour stream, we'll be playing the Separation Anxiety Kit, where it's a 4-person free-for-all. You're just trying to beat everybody up, keep your team alive, and then grab as many of the different symbiotes that are on the field as possible. It's a really neat scenario. We've played it before with 3 people, so I'll be playing it with 4 people on the stream for Black Friday. Get these dimensional rifting. Bum-ba-da. So these dimensional rifts are identical. They're just giant terrain pieces. They're size 2, so there's something that other characters can pick up and throw. Did this have a size on it? I didn't see if it had a size. Let me double check. Oh yeah. So I'll show you real quick. So and one of the cool things that I love about Atomic Max Games is that they label all of their terrain. All the terrain that Atomic Max Games produces has little identifiers on it. So this is a size 2 terrain. That matters in game, right? When you can pick up terrain and throw it at your opponents. Both of these dimensional rifts have little 2s on the inside. So you can pick up these dimensional rifts and throw them because they're size 2. And the same thing for this base. It's a size 2. Which is crazy because it looks huge. Looks like it should be a 3 or a 4. Set that to the side. Okay, so looks like this will go with this. Let's get to building. All right, we need 38, 32, and 34. Alex, thank you, but that thing was not as big as my head. I've got a pretty big head. 38, 34, and 32. $38 is the big one. Eight. $34. 32. Just clipping out these pieces. All right, so this is 38, 34. Put some glue right here. Just a little bit of glue. These pieces of terrain should be fairly big as well. Thank you, Alex, for helping me out with my hashtags and promoting while I assemble. Not as easy as I thought it was going to be. There we go. Boop. All right, bam. Wow. All right, so that was maybe a 35, 40, 35, 33. That's 35. Thank you, Alex. Is Joe in here? Hey, see. Yep, Joe is watching. Joe, thanks for watching, brother. Alright, that was 35. Oh, you missed it. I assembled Dormammu. Bet. Alright, so he's there. 34. I clipped out 34. Yeah, 33. 33. Yum, yum. Oh yeah, I know James was in here. Put some super glue right there. Boop. Right. Ew. Right. Sound funky. Assemble, assemble. We're gonna move Dormammu because he's huge. Start putting this stuff together based on the back of the models. So that is a sort of wonky circle. Put it with this wonky circle. I will put there, outside, lightly glue it here. Bloop. Right. A blip. Of course, all of this we can clean up later. That off. Full circle. Circle. A little dab of glue will do us. Right here on the edge. Smear some on the outside contact point. Up-a-doo. Fireballs. These things supposed to look. Okay. Oh man, these things are wacky. These things are wacky. Okay, there's that. This ball, this ball, this ball, this ball, this ball, this ball. Alright, so first there is this one. We're gonna dump a bunch of glue on here. Dip, dip, dip. Get this here. One of the things I love about terrain is that no matter what you do to it, you can make it look cooler. There it is. Okay. We will put this glue here. Fireball. There. And then there we go. This one is going to go in here. Going to go sideways. So again, go crazy with the glue. And the reason we can do this is because the reason we can do this is because the terrain doesn't really matter. Ah. We're okay. Like if you goof up on the terrain, it's no big deal because you're gonna paint over it and give it texture and do other kinds of cool stuff to it. Gotta figure out where this goes though, or how it goes in. There's an angle there. There it is. There's that angle. A bloop. Right. Go and then oop. One more? That one. Huh. We may never know. But that's okay. Happy little trees. That fell on the floor. Okay. Ta-da! Gotta re-angle this. Alright, so after I'm done with Dormammu, I will be working on some terrain, some more terrain for the home board. There it is. Ah. There we go. That's why I couldn't figure it out. This one goes in here. Just like that. And this one will go just like this. That sideways. So it's supposed to be this really big, nebulous thingamajig. All the parts off that sprue. Parts off that sprue. Then this one. Where is that one? I'm missing that one. That's what it is. We can fix that. Bloop. This, I probably glued it to my hand or something. I just can't see it. Hot glue right there. Bloop. All right. And that's it. That's all she wrote. And so now what I'm going to do, As I finish with this dimensional rift. Whoops. Needs more glue. Take a look inside. Ote. Up. Glue. All right. There we go. Pair of these won't fix. Up. Up. All right. There. I like it. There we go. A dimensional rift for Dormammu. And show. Again, I'm not 100% sure how everything's used just yet. Cracked open the box today. I'll assemble the other dimensional rift, but right now what I would like to do is show everyone how I am magnetizing my miniatures. Switch views real quick. Back to the main screen. So I posted about it on my Facebook page. My next sort of hobby project that I'm working on is my carrying case. And while it looks like just a simple first aid kit, I have magnetized some of my models. They will not go anywhere. Perfectly safe for me to throw around. I can shake it. I'm not gonna just like throw it, but it's safe for me to do that. They're secure in there. This is just a normal first aid kit. Sorry if I've been bumping my mic. This is just a normal first aid kit. It is metal. It's got sheet metal. Got my minis in there. That's my spider foes, with the exception of Black Cat. And I'm going to show you how I do that with this. This is an industrial adhesive called E6000. This E6000 will bond pretty much anything. Right? Metal, wood, glass, fabric, most plastics. So what we're going to do is crack this bad boy open. Now, this stuff is not good to use in a unventilated area. I am working at my hobby table. I've got fans going. I do not plan on leaning over this, inhaling too much, because this stuff is very strong. So, this will be the first time that I open it. Got that metal stopper. Use the top to poke it. Just go careful. Oop. And then air will get in there. And I like to hit the sides to sort of like pull the stuff in. Matt, yes, thank you, Matt. Hashtag don't sniff glue. I am in a very well ventilated area. I will be using these 10mm by 2mm magnets. Gotta keep them away from everything. Very small. You know what? The first mini we will do will be, where is she? Black Cat. I assembled Black Cat on my last stream. You'll see that it fits flush on the bottom. I'm just going to drop a dollop of glue right here in the middle. Not too much, you don't need a lot. And this stuff will act like super glue. I mean, not super glue, like hot glue, right? It's very stringy. You need to be careful that you don't just let those strings go all over the place. Keep it close and tight. I got this nice little even drop on the bottom. And then I'm just going to set my magnet on there. Try not to get anything on my hands. Really, if you're working with this stuff, you should put some gloves on. That's it. I got all around the edges. I got a little bit over the top. That's exactly what I want. It doesn't have to be perfectly dead center. Although I will try and make it perfectly dead center. Bloop. And that's it. This stuff they want you to take, I think it's 24 hours. Let's see. Allow for 24-hour securing time. I am not going to be sniffing this, so all of these models that I have and will be doing are going to go outside. I would like to thank James Chumley for trading me. I assembled an amazing... Oh, gotta be careful. I assembled an amazing Spider-Man for him. Whoop. And he traded me the Amazing Spider-Man for these magnets. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't sniff glue. Again, another dollop right in the center. And I'm going to be very careful with this glue. Because again, it acts just like hot glue. So you'll get these little fine strands all over the place. This is self-leveling. It'll just start to spread out. I'm just going to drop it. My X-Acto knife. Press it down. Perfect. And I will just leave it alone. couple more. Magnets are actually pretty neat. They're magnetizing my little coins that I put together. These magnets are fairly strong, so I will not be using a lot of them. Just a little dollop. Being very careful. A loop. Oops. Exactly what I want. Gotta be careful. Don't want to stick these too close to each other while that glue is curing, because it'll pull the magnets to each other. So Alex, I got a lot of people talking I hadn't noticed. All right, so James had said, are you excited for the new characters that are going to be released next year? Yes, I'm very excited because I play Spider Foes and we're getting Sandman, Electro, Shocker, and Vulture. Like a whole slew of new Spider Foes. I'm currently playing Brotherhood, and so there are potential other mutants that could come out for Brotherhood. Who else is there? I know that James plays Web Warriors, so they've got Scarlet Spider and Gwenom that are coming out. Very excited for that. Alex, I've actually got a really cool idea that I want to do with the first aid kit, and I'm going to cover the first aid kit in comic book. Like just take old comic books and Mod Podge them all over the entire thing. I'm going to spray paint it black, Mod Podge over it with those comic books, and then I'm going to put my Big Bad Nerd Dad logo on the front of it for when I travel and go to tournaments and stuff like that. Because I do see myself actually getting competitive with Marvel Crisis Protocol. It's been a lot of fun. I can see myself playing this game for years to come as it is, because they've done a very good job of balancing the game, of keeping things different, of making sure that the game is consistently fun. First, before I put this on there, I need to double check my magnets, because I have not done this on one of the larger bases. There we go. Juggernaut is not a good base for that. So we will take this, and it's perfect. It's just the same size as that lip, so it should only take one magnet to magnetize the entire thing. The large should take two. We're gonna take a dollop. One dollop of the adhesive / glue. Quite a large dollop. That's okay. I'm just going to slowly swirl and press the edges of this to get it back in. I do not want to waste it. Drop. Use the tip of the X-Acto knife. Push it down. Then I'm just going to work. Work that. Around. Oops. There we go. That way it's not sticking up too much. There we go. Nice flat. I will leave that. Already bonding and sticking. I love it. Will be exactly what I need over here. And that's how easy and simple it is to magnetize your models for Marvel Crisis Protocol, right? For other miniature games, you may need to drill. Alex had mentioned earlier that you have to pin some models. Pinning means that you drill into them, put a piece of metal. But nah, fam. There we go. Boop. Gotta find places for all these guys. Hoo-yah! Worried about that just yet. I will magnetize Dormammu later. Only because I don't know if I'm going to magnetize everything, drill holes through them. We'll figure it out when we get there. But, double check real quick. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, I might as well do the rest of these homies while I got this stuff out. I also have to do two bases by themselves without the model on it, because I'm picking up one more character for my Brotherhood. And she's actually two models. It's Emma Frost, and Emma Frost has a transformation where she goes from normal Emma Frost to diamond skin Emma Frost. So I was like, yeah, I gotta get her, because she's actually a really neat model and character for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Much like Dormammu, when you bring when you play with Dormammu on your team, no matter who's on your team, he turns your team into the Dark Dimension team. So he will make it so that everything you run is Dark Dimension. No big deal. Actually really cool. Neat mechanic. They've got a really cool team ability. But Emma Frost has that as well. You have to bring a tactics card with her, but anytime you run Emma Frost is the leader of the Hellfire gang. And with the Hellfire gang, you assemble a team of whatever models you want, and they become Hellfire. Avengers, Hellfire. Defenders, Hellfire. Brotherhood of Mutants, Hellfire. X-Men, Hellfire. Guardians of the Galaxy, they're Hellfire now, which is really neat. Like it's something different that I've never played with before, and so that's why I included her in this. What's it called? That's why I included her in this Space City League, this citywide league that I'm playing in. Juggernaut has a recessed base, or a base with a recess in it, so I'm putting extra goo in there, and I'm going to double up on his magnets simply because he is so big. But for the Space City League, I didn't want to play my spider foes because I'm used to my spider foes. I'm good with my spider foes. I'm confident with my spider foes. I wanted to play something against players that might be new to the game, with new, different models, to try something else out. It should work. If that don't work, I'll just add more magnets. Should be fine. Should be fine. Juggernaut right here. So I was gifted the Brotherhood of Mutants affiliation box, which came with Magneto. It came with Mystique, the two leaders of the Brotherhood of Mutants. I was like, all right, this is great. I've got the two leaders. I just got to pick up some extra characters. Now, who possibly works with the Brotherhood of Mutants? And so the box set came with Magneto, Mystique, Sabretooth, and Toad. So I was like, all right, cool. 4. Only need 6 more to make my 10-man roster because I'm thematic and a goober. And so I looked into other box sets, and Pyro and the Blob. Gotta have the Blob. I've always thought the Blob was a funny character. Really want to use him in the game. And that fills up my need for 2 character slots, right? The Blob and Pyro. Let me do that. Let me get that going. Here it goes. And see. Down sideways so they don't fall. Goofy stuff. So Pyro and Blob were my next pick. And then everywhere that I read about running the Brotherhood of Mutants said that if you take Magneto, you have to take Juggernaut. Like there's 2 of the best synergetic pieces. They work well together. They're going to put in a lot of work for you. And for anybody that's played against my Spider Foes list, you know that I love big, beefy models. I love taking the fight to other players. I love manhandling. I'm not extremely tactical. Objective play isn't my favorite. So if I can just deny my opponents the objectives and just continuously beat them up, that's how I like to play the game. I like just trying to beat my opponents into a pulp. Oop. All right. Quicksilver is done. Um, nope. You heard me say Quicksilver. My next objective was to find 2 more characters. I went from 4 to 6 to 7. 7, I was like, all right, I need 2 more characters that work with the Brotherhood of Mutants. And so I'm looking at their affiliation list, and there were 2 box sets with 2 characters. There was Rogue and Gambit and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So everyone was telling me that Scarlet Witch was a great include, that she was mean, that she had great abilities, great. She was very useful. So I was like, you know what? Let's go with Scarlet Witch. As much as I love Rogue and Gambit, and apparently they fall under the Brotherhood of Mutants. I'm good taking Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Okay. Trying to get all these minis to stay straight up and down so that they stay flat. Oops. Oops. I did again. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Oh, Toad is such an awkward miniature. I don't want to lose him. Set him. No, I'm running out of space. I have so many models. Oh, you know what? This will be good. Got a hole in this box. Exacto safety. I'll just set Toad like this. Nice and safe. Ta-da! I'm the smartest man alive. Alright, next. Mystique. I need to do Mystique. I need to do Scarlet Witch. I need to do Rogue and Gambit because I was able to pick them up. I might start X-Men simply because I have those 2. If I get the affiliation box, it's an easy build. Okay. Let's go with Mystique next. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do these two bases for Emma Frost. Up. So make sure I get all that glue on there. And squeezing the sides. Drop that on there. Press down. Put a little hole. Mystique is very small, so she doesn't need as much space. Pull that in. Whoopsies. Pull that in. Put her down in there. Next, Scarlet Witch. She's gonna be a pain. Actually, I think Magneto is gonna be done. I can actually move Magneto over here. Magneto can sit right here. Could I possibly move? Let's go with this guy. Black Cat. Black Cat was the first model I did. He looks done. He sits flat. I'll put it to the side. We'll do Scarlet Witch. Making sure that we keep this blue and good form. Oop. Down. And I'm being a little obsessive. Trying to get them right in the middle. They do not have to be right in the middle. I would just like them very much to be right in the middle. That should be okay. I'll rotate it. Yeah. Okay. Rogue. Airbubble. Oh no. Gambit, come here. Gambit will get a little bit. And then these two other bases get all the excess. What's coming out of this? The other two will be fine. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, I'm gonna press on the sides to put a vacuum back in this thing. Right. Let's go with the assembly instructions. Clean off the edges so I don't get it extra ooey gooey. Bloop. And then we will close this thing. All right. We used very little of that, so I will be loaning it to my good friend James, who's going to magnetize his models. Right there for Emma Frost. Oops. There for Frost. I did it again. Come on, Mike. Another right here for Emma Frost. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Gonna take it to put quite a bit of the adhesive on here. Right there. Should be good. Yep. Put one on the bottom for Rogue and Gambit. All right, last one, Rogue. And with Rogue being complete, everybody looks to be drying evenly and safely. Ah. All right, team. Pop. That's going to be it for today. We assembled Dormammu. We assembled one of his portals, one of his dimensional rifts, and then we magnetized all of our bases, with the exception of Dormammu, because we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do with him. But we did a lot today. 2 hours. Adios, Matt. Thanks for saying hey. Um, but we are streaming twice a week now, so I will be building more terrain on Thursday night. And I will be doing some other stuff because I believe I'm going to be picking up Emma Frost and Psylocke, so I'll definitely be getting them pretty soon. On a day when it's not so humid, I will be priming and getting these guys primed, Zenthal highlighted, and then prepped for painting. Because this is it. We are in the first week of the Space City Marvel Crisis Protocol League, and I cannot wait to start competing against my fellow opponents, players, everybody in the Houston area, and having some fun while gearing up for the 24-hour charity stream for the Wounded Warrior Project. Thank you very much for watching. I've had a fantastic time assembling these models and this terrain, showing everybody how to magnetize, how simple it is to do these things like magnetizing your models, magnetizing your bases, assembly. You watch me goof up a couple of times. Anybody can do this. It's a whole lot of fun. Even if you don't like to paint, even if you don't like to assemble, you just want to play the game, this stuff is very easy, very simple to do. Again, I applaud the Atomic Mass Games company for what they've done, making these amazing models, making them accessible, very easy to do, and I cannot wait to do some more. So I want to thank everybody very much for watching me tonight. Have a good night, and remember, walls ahead, rubble behind.